Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Ericka Sallee of True Synergy. Welcome back to my channel, and yes, Happy New Year again. You know, True Synergy is a personal coaching and professional development company where I help women and organizations to figure out what stands in the way of them achieving their success. And once we figure out what those barriers are, then I do provide the strategies to help you move beyond those. And so it is a brand new year. I'm excited to continue these conversations. And so if these are things that you want to keep hearing, not just through the rest of this year, but things that you can begin to catalog to create your own personal library, then I do encourage you to, yes, subscribe to this channel, share this out, and then turn those notifications on so that you are in the know when brand new videos are uploaded. So today's topic is a continuation in this 10-day series where I'm sharing with you 10 best ideas to jumpstart you to your brand new year. Now, yesterday's conversation was about leaving 2021 behind, or you can substitute the year and say, leave the old behind. And so if you didn't have an opportunity to hear that conversation, then I do encourage you to go ahead and check that out. The link is included right here in the description, so you don't want to miss any of the nuggets. The beauty is that you don't have to listen to them in a particular order, so long as you get all 10 of these best ideas. So today's topic is this: to have an expectation of something new. Let me say that again. Have an expectation of something new. Now, I know that this is the very beginning of the year. And you know how it is when you get to, let's say, right after Christmas, and you know that, hey, the new year is coming. So you start thinking maybe like around December 28th, 29th, you're like, oh my goodness, the new year is about to come in. So you're expecting that new to happen. You know that on December 31st, when the clock strikes midnight, you know that, okay, January the 1st of the new year is here. So you expect that because you know that's just how time turns and that's how we move forward. And so I'm challenging you today to have that same thought, the same expectation and anticipation when you know, okay, I know the new year is coming in. I know when that calendar changes, then we're moving into a brand new moment in time. And so in today's conversation, I just want you to think about that for just a moment. To have an expectation that something new is on the horizon. You know, here's the thing that I think could help put this in context. So you know that you are right here in this moment in time. So whatever time you happen to be seeing this video, hearing my voice, you know that this is a present moment. And so if you think about the fact that on the other side of this moment, there's something new, there's something different that can be waiting for you. And so just to begin to think about that. So I want you to just get it in your mind. And I know, you might be saying to yourself, okay, we've come through the previous year. Maybe things haven't worked out exactly as you had anticipated in the previous year. If you listen to the conversation from yesterday, when I say, hey, leave the past behind, there's absolutely nothing that we can do about the time that has passed. But now what we can do is say, okay, but here I am, and I can anticipate something new happening. I love this part of the conversation, and I even love the fact that even as I'm talking to you right now, one of the things that is really warming me is just the rays of the sun that are shining through my window right now as I'm having this conversation with you. And just a few moments ago, it was cloudy. The ground is still wet from rain that happened all day yesterday. And so that was then, and the sun shining through right now says that there is something new that's able to happen even while you are in this present moment. And you may be saying to yourself, okay, I know that I've got some ideas and I've got some thoughts about what I want to do and how I want to move forward. And I know that many of us have New Year resolutions that we plan for ourselves. Some people say, you know what, I'm not going to do resolutions. I'm just not going to do it because I've tried it before. It didn't work. And, you know, I get midway through the year and I realize, what did I even plan to do? Okay. So if that is you, I want you to kind of throw that out the window and say, okay, but if I'm right here, right now, I have the opportunity to expect, you're going to hear me say this over and over and over again through this conversation because I want you to get it and grab a hold of that and say, okay, here's the moment where I can just expect something new. You mean I can start to think about the fact that there's something on the horizon that has my name on it, that's waiting for me and is just right there for me to start beginning to walk toward it. I'm going to tell you absolutely yes. Now, I know there's a lot of things that are probably coming into your mind right about now. Well, what about this? And well, what if this? And I don't know. And I get it. But I'm not even asking you to think about the how about something new. I'm not even asking you to say the what. Because you might be saying, I don't even know what new looks like for me. I'm not even sure how to figure that out right now. We're still at the beginning of the year and I don't quite know. And that's okay. The only thing I'm asking you to do in this moment, whether you're sitting in your car, whether you're walking around the grocery store and you're listening to this, I want you to say to yourself, in this moment, right here, right now, I can begin to expect something new. I can begin to expect something new. I want you to say that with me no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing. And if you're in a room with other people and you just happen to have one ear in and you're listening to this, just say it under your breath. Say it to yourself. I am expecting something new. So you might be saying, okay, I'm saying all that, then now what? Okay, so how do I take this expectation and really get it into my psyche, into everything that permeates my thinking? How do I do that? So I want to share with you a couple things. So when you say to yourself, I'm going to expect something new, the first thing that you're doing is that you're framing your mind to even begin to think what is possible, okay? You're framing your mind because that's where it starts, right here, to frame your mind to think something new. This is actually also a healthy perspective that helps to open up the door for creation. So when you begin to think about the fact that, oh, wait a minute, something new can happen, I'm expecting something new, then it starts to shape your mind to say, all right, now that you begin to think this, now what you're doing is you're opening the door for creation, and that is very important, okay? So I'm not just telling you this just because it sounds good, but I'm telling you this because this is the place where that trigger starts to happen and just kind of opens that door just enough to let some other things come in. And so here's how you can begin to start taking that the framing your mind around something new to the next level. So here's what I'm going to share. So here's what you can do to begin to say, okay, I'm going to expect something new. That is to make some declarations. I've already given you one. The first declaration is to say, okay, I'm expecting that something new is going to happen. That is a declaration. Whenever you say I am, you are opening up that opportunity for the next thing after the word am to become a reality. So you've already made one declaration, right? So here's one thing. You can take this one and say, okay, out with the old, in with the new. So if the old is gone, if 2021 is gone, if the relationship is gone, if the business is gone, if the job is gone, if out with the old, okay, old things are passed away and then things become new. So what you can declare to yourself in this idea of expecting something new to happen is you can simply say, oh, wait a minute, out with the old, in with the new. The old is gone, the year 2021 is gone, and now we are here at the beginning of a brand new year. So out with the old, in with the new. Here's another one. You can take this and say, because I'm here in this moment, remember what I said, in this moment, wherever you are, because I'm here in this moment, opportunity is always available. Okay? I'm going to say that again. Because I'm here at this appointed time. I always say this, that if you have the opportunity to be, meaning to be present, to be alive, then that is a moment of opportunity. That means that you are still able to create something. That means that you are still able to change something. That means you're still able to do something different, to do something new, to do something better. So because I'm here in this moment, opportunity is always available. Opportunity is available to me now. These are just two simple, actually three. If you start with the first one to say, I am expecting that something new is going to happen. You can also say, I'm expecting that something new, something good, something amazing is going to happen. Out with the old, in with the new. It's like, okay, I'm tossing this out. It's similar to this. So I think about taking out the trash, right? So whenever we take out the trash, we kind of bundle it up. We take it out to the garage and put it in the trash bins there, and then we put in a new trash bag. Because now you are giving a space for capacity to add new things to it. And you might be saying, okay, well, you're adding trash to it, but that could be old ways of thinking that you need to dump. Okay, that's a whole nother conversation for another day. But out with the old, in with the new. So when you put the old out, you put something new in, and you're opening up capacity for receiving. If you say, because I'm here in this moment, that means I acknowledge that I'm still alive. I'm still in the land of the living. I still have an opportunity to make a shift, to make a change, to transform something different for myself, or transform into something different for myself. So just those three declarations alone can be used in order for you to begin to frame your mind around something new. Now, I've given you these three, but you might say, oh, well, I can come up with some of them on my own. I encourage you to do that, because these declarations have to be something that can resonate with you. They can be short, they can be quick, so that in a moment when you are feeling like, oh my gosh, is there really an opportunity for something new to happen? Can this be different? Can this be better? You can grab a hold of those declarations and say, oh, out with the old, in with the new. It's even as simple as using declarations to transition you from one moment of thought to another. Because sometimes we get caught up in the old ways of thinking. And that can be an out with the old, in with the new. Oh, wait, let me shut that thought down and let me move into something different that's going to help keep me focused on what it is I'm trying to do and where I'm trying to go. I'm going to be talking about that a little bit more later on in the week, in terms of our mindset and how sometimes we have to be willing to be brainwashed in order to embrace the new best version of yourself in this new year. So I don't want to give all of that away. So in order to really embrace the notion of accepting that something new can happen, first of all, is to start with declarations. All right, so I'm hoping you're taking notes so you can write this down, because I don't want you to miss these points. And really, that's the case with all 10 of these ideas that I'm going to be sharing with you over the course of the next few days. So the second way to begin to think about embracing something new is to practice imagery. To practice imagery. Now, you can call it imagery, you can call it visualization, you can call it vision boarding if you want. Sometimes a vision board is actually a literal board. Some people have apps on their phone that create the vision board for them. Sometimes people are visualizing in their mind, in their head, about what they want to come to fruition or come to pass. So here's what I want you to do. And literally, I want you to walk with me through this particular exercise. Now, I'm going to ask you, if you're sitting in a place that's safe, maybe you're inside of your home, maybe you're taking a breather inside of your car and you're in a place where you can do this. I literally want you to close your eyes for just a moment. Now, I'm not going to close my eyes, because I want to read through to you what I want you to begin to embody with this whole notion of imagery and closing your eyes. So, have you ever been at the beach and you're looking out at the water, but you marvel at how the horizon and the water seem to meet? Okay? Just think about that for a moment. So if you have your eyes closed and you say to yourself, oh my gosh, I'm at the beach, my feet are in the sand, I can feel the coolness as I wiggle my feet and my toes further into the sand, and just how relaxing that is. And as I'm standing there doing that, I'm actually looking out, and I can see the waves, and I can see the ocean in all of its majesty and its beauty. And then I happen to look and I see the horizon, and oh my gosh, it looks like the two seem to meet. And think about how in awe you are of just this sight alone. And so what if you brought that same type of excitement to you. Like literally, when you think about that, you're like, oh my gosh, just how can that be? Or even if you're looking at a sunset, right? And you get excited and you're like, oh my gosh, just look at how beautiful that is. And you feel just that awe about, look at the majesty and the beauty and how creation works. And how beautiful that sunset is. And you know that when the sun sets, that means that one day is closing and another one is just over the horizon. So if you thought about either one of these scenarios and you say, oh my gosh, how exciting is it to just feel that notion, to know that there's something amazing like that that's happening all around us. And these are just the beauty elements that we see, let alone the ones that perhaps we don't see, that we see in pictures and magazines and on television and perhaps social media. But just excitement around that. So what I want you to do is think about how you can transfer that excitement and just that notion of, oh my gosh, that's so amazing to be able to see that. That's so amazing to know that as the cycle of life is turning and we're moving in it, that things like a sunset, things like water meeting the horizon or seeming to meet the horizon is just absolutely amazing and wonderful. And when you think about that, you say, oh my gosh, can I transfer that same level of excitement and awe and move that into, oh my gosh, anticipation, expectation, that there's beauty all around me, that I get to not just witness it and watch it and see it, but I get to create it for myself. See, that expectation of something new is the thing that if we just turn it inward, sometimes it's so easy for us to expect and to get excited for other people. But when it comes to turning the light on ourselves and saying, you know what? If I can get excited about that for someone else, why can't I expect and be excited about something new for myself? Just think about that for a moment. And that might be you. You might be the person who is so used to getting excited and anticipating someone else's joy, someone else's success. But when you say, oh, wait a minute, what about me? I was listening to a conversation the other day, and a friend of mine was hosting a show on her YouTube channel. And I was listening to she and her guest talk, and I remember her guest was saying how she was involved in an event with a friend, and she was just so excited about helping this person to be able to pull this event off. And there were so many good things that she was just excited about being there and being a support and being a help. And she said the same energy that I put into helping this person bring about their dream, their event, their goal, their idea, like I never do that for myself. So having that kind of excitement and anticipation is unfamiliar to many people. And that's why I want you to hone in on this topic for today's conversation, to expect something new. And so that when you're in doubt and you say to yourself, oh gosh, I know you're telling me to expect something new and there's new on the horizon and this is the moment because this is the beginning of the year and this is the time. But I still have those old things that try to come up and try to deter me away from believing in the something new. That's why I asked you to create the declarations, because you can go back to those things and you can say, well, wait a minute, out with the old, in with the new. Because I'm here in this moment, I still have the opportunity to embrace possibility. There's always something new on the horizon. You can begin to speak those declarations to yourself, because it begins to shift your mood, and it begins to shift how your brain and your actions might be moving you toward holding on to the old, because it seems like the new is far, far away. But getting that in your mind on this day, in this moment, is a move in the right direction to help you to embrace the notion of something new. So I'm just making sure that I don't have any more notes that I want to share with you before we close out the conversation for today. So yesterday was to leave 2021 behind, leave the old behind. Today is to have the expectation of something new, and it's just simply saying to yourself, I expect. It's not planning it out. It's not trying to put all the pieces together. It's not trying to dot all the I's, cross all the T's. It is simply you gravitating toward the belief that something new is waiting for you. Okay, so hold on to that for today's conversation. I also want you to join me tomorrow for the third best idea to jumpstart you into your brand new year, and that is going to be willing to disrupt your comfort zone. That's the topic for tomorrow. You don't want to miss that, and I cannot wait to share it with you. So if you know people in your tribe, in your community, who need to hear this conversation, and I'm going to go back to the beginning and say, yes, do share this out. Invite them to be a part of this community so they can get the nuggets that they need for themselves and disseminate it in the way that makes sense for them. And then if you have questions about True Synergy and perhaps how you and I can partner together to figure out how do I navigate through this thing called transformation and change and creating that best for me in this new year, then I do encourage you to visit my website, truesynergy.org. That's TRUSYNERGY. All you have to do is send a contact and say, hey, listen, I want to have a conversation about how we can work together. There's some things going on in my space, and I'm just trying to figure out in this new year, how do I begin to break some things down, move some things around, and be my own kind of barrier breaker. If that is you, then yes, I do encourage you to reach out and let's have a 30 to 45 minute discovery session to figure out what that could look like for you. And then we can move forward and continue in this brand new year, helping you to create the best for you. So on that note, I look forward to seeing you all again real soon. Until I do, take care and be well.